Welcome to Evan Writes Cars Video Reviews. This is Evan. Today I am in a vehicle that is one of the most hardcore focused vehicles that you can buy right now. It's a vehicle that's designed to be extremely aerodynamic. There are little aerodynamic bits and baubles and pieces all over the outside of it. The very shape of the car is designed to be one of the most aerodynamic shapes on the market. The car is designed to be light. The interior is very Spartan, very focused, very hard plastics because they're lighter. The vehicle I'm in is the 2016 Toyota Prius. That's right. It's not hardcore and track focused like a McLaren or a lightweight Ferrari. What it is focused on one thing. That thing is fuel economy. This car is designed to get the best possible fuel mileage, and it absolutely delivers. But that said, it's still a car. It's still a really good car. It rides well. It's very smooth. It's very reminiscent of an older Lexus, where it's before they decided that they wanted to get sporty. It's a very cushy ride, not floaty, maybe a little bit floaty, but nothing offensive. Nothing that's going to make you seasick or think that you're sailing. The car has good composure even in the corners. It doesn't lean too far in normal driving. The steering isn't exactly filled with feel, but it's accurate, it's precise, it's linear. You know, it's a good steer. The brakes are smooth. The transition between hybrid braking and conventional braking is transparent. There's no noticeable changeover. It's very good that way. The tires are Bridgestone super low rolling resistance tires. So if you do anything, if you try and do anything overly sporting, they're just going to give up and howl. But they do stick with you. Remember, these are the same tires used on the FRS and the BRZ. So, they're sports car tires. The Prius is it's quite unique on the inside. Lots of gauges telling you this is how you're doing for economy, this is how you're doing for power. Don't use the power. It gives you a score for how environmentally friendly you've been, how eco you've been on your drive. My highest score so far was a 75 out of 100. I have no idea what that means, but it looks pretty good. So far, I've put 150 kilometers on this car. I'm averaging 3.5 liters per 100 kilometers. 3.5. That's got to be, 1,000 miles per gallon, I think? It's an astounding number, and I'm not... I own a hybrid. I've put 250,000 kilometers on my own hybrid. So I am more sensitive to hypermiling than most people. I wouldn't say I'm a hypermiler, but I do the things that, without becoming a rolling roadblock, are going to improve mileage. Easy throttle inputs, coasting up to a stop, things like that. Don't, no jackrabbit starts. Just take it easy and smooth. Don't slow down for corners is a big one. Because if you don't slow down for the corner, you don't have to accelerate on the other side. And the Prius has just enough handling to let you do that. This car is very comfortable inside. It has very good ergonomics. Everything's close at hand. The shifter is weird, but it's right there, down at the bottom of the center console. The screen is close at hand. Not too many levers coming out of the steering wheel. easy, simple buttons on the steering wheel for the information displays and the radio. These seats are some of the most comfortable seats I've ever sat in a car. I feel almost weightless. They're just really, really, really comfortable. It's I don't think I've ever sat in a chair more comfortable than this. They just seem to sit in all the right ways. And it's quite amazing. The back seat is roomy. I can sit behind myself, which is pretty rare in a vehicle. The hatchback gives tons of cargo space. There's also the rear windshield itself is quite, it's not tall. It's long, but it's not tall, so you can't see out of it all that well. But what they've done is the top part of the tailgate is also glass, and you can see through that when the cargo net is not in place. This car has excellent visibility. The window, the windshield is very tall, very upright. The side windows are enormous. The mirrors are quite large. It's really good, really easy to see out. It's quite nice. I'm enjoying driving this car because it's they make it a game. They give you a score. I can see a gauge that tells me that I'm in electric mode right now. I can see the power moving from where it's coming from. I can tell when I'm using the gas engine. I can tell when I'm using the electric motor. I can tell when I'm getting regenerative. It makes saving money fun. It makes boring driving, I'll say, commuting, fun. Because who doesn't want to beat their own high score in their commute? I know I do. It's a lot of fun. Just make sure you're not staring at the gauges, which is pretty easy to do. Keep your eyes up there. Right now, 3.5 liters per 100. That's not just these windy, slower back roads. That's a combination of city, 110 kilometer an hour highway, all over the place. It was a little bit better when I stayed off the 110 kilometer an hour highway, of course, but didn't make that much of a difference. Maybe 0.3 liters per 100 kilometers. It's still exceptional. One of the gauges that the Prius has is you can go back and see the fuel economy for every day that the car was driven for the last few months. You can get monthly, going back to when the car was, actually before the car was built. So it's zero for a few months. But you can get all the mileage. And it looks like no one has managed to average over 5.5. Most people getting between 4.5 and 5.5. So I guess they're not going to enjoy my numbers because I guess I win, beating everybody else by at least by up to or more than a liter per 100 kilometers. The Prius is quiet inside. It's not as quiet as let's say a Camry would be, but that's a product of the lighter weight of the low rolling resistance tires. They are a little louder. It's also partly because you could never hear an engine. When you don't ever hear the engine, you notice the wind a little more. You notice the tires a little more. Occasionally, you may have just heard that the engine does kick in. It is 100% seamless. The only way you can tell that the engine has kicked on is because you can start to hear it. There's no lurch. There's no shudder. There's nothing, and it's quite amazing that they managed to make the transition so seamless. And it's the same when it's turning off. You can't tell it comes off, except that little bit of a rumble goes away. This is a CVT. It doesn't drone because you're rarely on the accelerator for that long. The engine's fairly quiet anyway, so it's never making an offensive droning noise. It's never irritating. It's just there once in a while, and then it goes away again, which is exactly what it should be. So to sum up the Prius, I would say that it is an exceptionally focused car that is amazingly good at its intended goal. Its intended goal is to get exceptional fuel mileage. It does that, but it does that without sacrificing the ability to be a car. There's lots of room for 5 people and luggage. It drives like any other car. Better than a lot of them. It's smooth, it's quiet, it's extremely comfortable, and it gets amazing gas mileage. If you're looking at a large compact or mid-sized sedan, it's hard to beat this. Yes, gas is $1 or $2 depending on where you are right now, but that's not going to stay the same. With the Civic I had last week, I averaged 6.5 liters per 100. The Hyundai Elantra averaged somewhere in the same area. I'm using half the gas in this as I was in those cars, and I'm driving it the same. And I believe this car is actually cheaper than that Civic was, because it was the loaded touring model. This car still has all the gadgets. It has radar cruise. It has lane departure warnings. Everything you need. It's exceptionally good value. Toyota continues to be the leader amongst regular hybrids. It's no Porsche 918. And this car just shows how far advanced of the competition they are. This is the Evan Wrights Cars video review of the 2016 Toyota Prius. Thanks for watching, and look forward to being seen next time. Bye.